Hey, what's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me at this time. My name is Shavi Zane, and I'm coming on to bring a message for the chosen. If you find this resonates with you in any way, please be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know how it resonates with your circumstance. So, this message is for specific groups, okay? As you all know, chosen, we live in very interesting times. Because we're in the information age, in the age of I know, there's a lot of things that are readily accessible to people. And of course, there's good things that comes with that, but there's also bad things that comes with that because there are particular groups of people out here who have decided to come together and they have convinced themselves that they are powerful. They've convinced themselves that in numbers, they can actually conjure up demons. They can call in wealth. They can siphon people's gifts. They can pretty much do whatever they want to do. And these beings do not acknowledge right from wrong. These are beings who assume that any and everything goes in this human experience. But the problem with assuming is that you end up making an ass out of yourself, because what's getting ready to happen for these beings is that they're getting ready to be shown that there is such thing as a scale, okay? Even if we're looking at the scales of Ma'at, if we're talking about the balance of the heart versus the feather, if we're talking about karma, if we're talking about universal law, these beings are getting ready to have a clear understanding of why certain things are preserved and held for those who have the authority to utilize them. These are your classic textbook Google and textbook witches and warlocks, okay? These fools wear costumes. They run around assuming that because they've decided to come together to do these things, that somehow they're safe. Somehow they're protected. And they assume that because they're conjuring up particular demons or entities, that there's power behind what they're doing. These beings have chosen to make a deal with the devil. And when I say devil, they're making a deal with the devil that's within them. They're making a deal with the powers that were to work up against the chosen. And these are diabolical favors. Okay, these are things that they're doing for others. You know, they recognize that the chosen, you have a lot of people against you. Okay, they know this. And so these beings, they're like, oh, I can handle it. Yeah, give me the assignment. We'll come together. We'll trick this person. We'll pull this person in, or whatever they're doing, however they're conspiring. They're getting ready to set themselves on fire. Because nature is against these fools. And the reason why all four elements and everything that produces life is against these particular groups of people is because what they're doing is in opposition to the expansion of the chosen. Anytime a group of people or an individual chooses to attack a chosen seed, every element begins to work against them. Even their own physical body begins to attack them. That's why many of these beings are going to find themselves with mental health issues, illness, all types of things is getting ready to be happening to them because they have made a conscious decision to come against divine beings. So you cannot work up against a divine being because we're in the age of Aquarius. And so the evolution, the awakening, the inspiration that comes with a divine being is needed in order for things to continue to progress, in order for scales to balance. This is the time now. And so they are attempting to eliminate something, someone that nature needs. So chosen, you are not only protected by the Most High Mother and Father, you're not only protected by your spiritual team, your angels, ancestors, you are also protected by the universal, elemental, and cosmic spirits Okay? You are also protected by the universal, elemental, and cosmic spirits, your cosmic family, your elemental family. We all work in unison because they recognize you. These energies, these forces recognize you, why you were conceived, why you was brought into this particular dimension at this particular time in history. These things are vital for the survival of the next generations, of the next empire that's being created. And so when these little stupid peon minion cockroaches decided to put their pea brains together, looking like some damn fools, they did not realize that even the elements that they have chosen to work with in order to try to conjure up particular beings and demons and all of these other things, they are now working against them. These beings, they sit around and they wait for particular moon cycles to happen. They plan, they conspire. How the hell you gonna try to do moon magic working with a moon that favors the chosen? How you gonna try to do fire magic working with fire that favors the chosen? Water magic, earth magic. I don't care if they get graveyard, dirt, skull, bones, cat's foot, okay, cow's tongue, pigeon's ass. I don't care what they use. All of these are living, organic creatures, beings, elements that favor the chosen because we are here to raise the vibrations of the universe. These beings had no idea. See, the ones that they chose to do these diabolical favors for when they shook hands and, said it's been signed, sealed, delivered, right? It's in full effect, right? They signed their blood. They signed in blood on the dotted line. They didn't tell them that bit of information. See, they left that part out. And that was a major component that could have been the very thing that would have saved these beings' lives. But see, they are nothing but mere pawns for the powers that were. And so, of course, why would they tell them that they are getting ready to go up against an army that cannot be defeated? So now what's getting ready to happen is all of these little minions are getting ready to drop like flies. They're going to conspire. They're going to have their little meetings. They're going to have their little talks and conversations. And they're going to, have their little plan. They think they got this thing under wraps. They think they got this thing in the bag. But what they fail to realize is that there is consequences of every choice. And so because they decided to be tempted, they're getting ready to understand what temptation has led them into. And they're all going to fall into this ditch together. They're getting ready to watch each other deteriorate. Their lives are going to be deteriorating right before their own eyes. But see, this was a gamble here. High stakes were at play here. And they decided to roll the dice thinking that this was going to be their cash in. Like they was about to cash out on this, y'all. That's what they really believed. They really thought that this was going to elevate their gifts, that they was going to pull on your sacred gifts. Okay, that they was going to receive something special from working up against you. Who are these lying demons that told them this? Who are these beings that made promises that they can never keep? Your destiny has already been written in the stars. It's fated. And the only one that can stop you from your destiny, the only one that can stop you from your inheritance, the only one that can stop you from rising, chosen, is you. And of course, you have made a conscious decision that you will follow through on your journey, that you will carry out the mission that has been assigned to you. You are a chosen seed because you was called and chosen for a particular mission. You answered the call and now you rise into your divinity. You receive your inheritance as a result of everything that you have done, continue to do, and will do. And these beings will sit and they will watch you rise. But what's getting ready to happen is the whole group is getting ready to be broken down. Like I said, they're going to start fighting up against each other. They're going to start pointing fingers at one another. Okay? Because, see, they had expectations that that one person will be able to do this. The other person will be able to execute that. They had particular expectations. But the issue is these beings, they cannot vibe high and work against the chosen. No, they have to stay in a very low vibrational state. This is why these pawns was chosen for the job, because these are naturally low vibrational beings that lack depth. They only understand things from the surface of life. They possess book knowledge, but they have no true spiritual insight. They do not receive divine messages from the Most High Mother and Father because they don't even believe that the Most High Mother, they don't know that the Most High Mother and Father exist. They truly believe that they have escaped punishment, that they have escaped judgment. But little do they know that they are going to be the hands that takes one another out. Literally. These beings are getting ready to become highly, highly paranoid. When I tell you they're going to be looking at the next person like, you did this? They're going to be talking about each other, gossiping about each other because they're toxic. They're low vibrational. And so that self-hate is getting ready to be projected off onto one another. So it's getting ready to be a lot of missiles that's flying within this group, these groups of minions. So it's very important that folks recognize that, when you decide to gamble and when you choose a chosen seed, thinking that this is going to be your come up, bringing down that chosen seed is going to be your next level up. It's going to be your way to fame or your way to notoriety or wealth. That is a grave mistake that's getting ready to land them in their graves. These beings have no idea what's coming. They really it's a fully mistaken evaluation, okay? They was looking at you, chosen, and I guess they thought they was checking off boxes. Oh, are they weak? Oh, okay, yeah. Are they easily manipulated? Oh, okay, yeah. Are they easily swayed? Oh, okay, yeah. And quite often, these groups will pull one person and they'll say, okay, we need you to get close to the chosen, or we need you to find a way into their space or into their energy so you can learn more about them, so you can understand their weaknesses, understand their strengths, understand their alchemy, understand, what are they doing behind the scenes, XYZ, right? They need to get a bird's eye view of your energy. But what they fail to understand is the only thing that any snake could evaluate about you are surface level things. They don't understand the depths of you. These are things that these beings would never have access to, because your spiritual team protect that sacred space. It's protected at all cost. But see, these beings, they thought that if they could pull on your sacral chakra, if they could attack your creativity, if they could attack your emotions, if they could attack your sexual energy, this would be the perfect vibration for their spell work and their wicked rituals to actually take you down so that they could fulfill the deal that they made with the devil. They were specifically targeting the sacral chakra of the chosen. But now they're going to walk away with shame. Their heads are going to be held very, very low. These beings, if they had any type of sacred gift, is being stripped away from them. Stripped away from them. These beings are very weak. Their physical bodies are getting ready to break down. Every part of their nature is getting ready to break down. They're getting ready to go through massive ego deaths here, because they really thought that they had it in the bag. And you, chosen, you will move forward with the swiftness, okay? Things are going to pick up for you very, very fast. You're going to move away from these beings, and they will not have access, will be denied to your energy. Now that you've called back your gifts, now that you've called back your sexual and creative energy, your creative ideas are getting ready to be at an all-time high, okay? You're going to feel fully inspired, fully energized, rejuvenated, ready to take on the world. And these beings will be grieving. When I tell you weeping and gnashing of teeth, that is their portion here in this lifetime. Not after they expire. I'm talking about right here in their 3D experience. It's about to be very, very painful, very scary. They're losing it all. And we will watch from a very far distance, safely tucked away and preserved to carry out our mission just as it has been fated and destined. So just move in silence, chosen. Act like you don't even see it. Act, if whoever the pawn is that they've tried to send to penetrate your circle, to try to penetrate your space, to gather information for their little foolery, act like you have no idea and let the fool walk right into your web. Because one thing about the Most High Mother and Father is that grace is always extended. Every day that we wake up, we make a decision. Do we want to become a better version today than we were yesterday? Do we want to continue on in foolery? Do we want to continue on in diabolical energy? Okay, continue to be a narcissist, continue to be wicked. These are every single day that a person wakes up and has breath. That is their opportunity. That is grace being extended to change and to transform. But these beings have made a decision. So act like you don't see it, like I said. And let them expose their own hand, because as you watch things break down all around them, it's going to be very clear and very apparent. Yep, it was you. Yep, you was conspiring. And justice is now being served. The scales are now balancing out. And it ain't your problem. Okay? That's their bad. It's not your problem. But damn. Life is getting ready to life on them. And the glow up is getting ready to happen for you. So this is a very beautiful lesson, and it plays out perfectly just to show beings that those who are favored should never be messed with. That's my message for you all. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to y'all next time.